Good morning, world.
Good morning. Unicorns, Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, and the Black Conservative. Do they exist? They absolutely do. Larry Elder, if you guys haven't heard of him, you need to check him out. Has an incredible film out called Uncle Tom. And in that, he talks about the myth of the Black Conservative. And Brian and I are going to review that trailer for his film today.
But this time, we're going to be doing the second Uncle Tom 2. We did the original Uncle Tom a while ago. Go check that one out. They're putting out another one who Larry Elder is the executive producer on.
It's good stuff. You guys stay tuned. I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian, and this is Cedric and Brian.
All right, guys, welcome back. We're excited to review this trailer. Last time we reviewed a trailer for Matt Walsh, we got the trailer taken down for reviewing it. So hopefully that doesn't happen with this one. But in this segment, Larry Elder does an incredible job with Uncle Tom 2, where he talks to blacks from all across the land, from different socioeconomic statuses, different parts of the land, and talks to them about what does it mean to be a black conservative and the hate they receive from people on the left. So we're going to look at the trailer a little bit and see what's going on. But a lot of work went into this. In short, Larry Elder was definitely prepared.
Are you prepared?
Like Brian says, are you prepared? Do you have enough food, water, and other essentials to get you through tough times? If not, check out My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's #1 preparedness company, and they've served millions of American families just like yours. Right now, you can save 25% off their popular 4-week emergency food kit, which will keep you well fed for 4 weeks worth of breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, and snacks, totaling over 2,000 calories a day. This food stays fresh for up to 25 years in proper storage, so it will be there when you need it. In fact, you may need it a lot sooner than that.
So don't wait. Go to www.preparewithcedricandbrian.com. That's www.preparewithcedricandbrian.com.
A lot of preparation went into this.
Yes.
Good stuff.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
When you look at these pictures, you get a sense of what black life was like.
Some of them look pretty prosperous.
Divine providence was clearly operating in the lives of black Americans.
Throughout history, black folks were honorable. They had integrity. That's what black people were.
We were never... Right off the bat, two of my heroes right there. You saw Ben Carson there. If you guys don't know Ben Carson, you need to pick up his book and read that. He successfully completed the world's first brain surgery, disconjoining two twins whose brains were kind of connected to the sternum there. I could have used an extra brain. I probably should have did that. And also Officer Tatum. He talks about that as well, but I didn't know they were going to talk about this. But in the beginning, before blacks were introduced to the system that really got them to fall apart with the welfare system, the black community was all about individualism, liberty, hard work, responsibility, limited government, and self-governance.
And we talked about on our last episode. I know I'm not supposed to talk much on this.
I'm giving Brian permission to speak on this today. So you can speak on this film and this film only.
Cedric mentioned, well, we both mentioned that how you present yourself in the world is how you're going to be respected, how you're going to be taken. We all are little advertisements for ourselves.
Absolutely.
So Cedric mentions if you wear your pants down, with your boxers hanging out, you're going to be perceived a different way. Well, before the welfare state, as they just pointed out, that the black people, I guess in today's society, were trying to be white. And in that society, no, they were trying to be successful.
Absolutely. Until that was just torn apart.
Yep.
I don't know if it's Maya Angelou, but she has an incredible quote. It's been credited to her. It says, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Back then, black people really showed not only, as Brian alluded to, their dress, but also their speech, their music, which in today's hip hop and rap culture is so far away from what the black community used to be, and just the way they treated one another. And a lot of it has been done through the liberals, through the left, trying to convince blacks they need to behave a certain way.
They sell this idea of tolerance and inclusivity, and we love everyone and everyone is welcomed here, but no, that's not true. We are only welcome there if we believe exactly what you want us to believe.
And a lot of them have basically fallen for the okie doke, as I call it.
They had integrity. That's what black people were.
We were never taught that America was bad and that we were not Americans. We were raised to love America.
Protesters topple a statue of Christopher Columbus, and hundreds of statues have been vandalized.
You see people trying to rewrite history.
The American people know these names have to go.
Why is that?
Whenever you have something to be proud of, people have less of a chance of controlling you.
This country is racist from top to bottom, from right to left. And for black people to become a part of that is for them to become, in fact, anti-black and to hate themselves.
That's irritating. You see that a lot. Just recently, I think it's like 2 weeks ago, there was a gentleman on MSNBC. Love that show. His name is Eli Mistow. I don't know if Brian can put his picture up here and interrupt this, but it looks like Don King and a female Q-tip got together and be careful of the monkeypox.
Isn't that redundant?
Looks like they got
Don King and a human Q-tip.
Well, like Don King and the Q-tip got together and created Eli Mistow. But he's talking to Joy Reid. And Herschel Walker, another one of our heroes, some of you old heads out there know him as the great running back from the Georgia Bulldogs, but he's running for the Republican Senate in Georgia. And I don't know if Brian can play this or not, I'm putting him on the spot here. Eli Mistow had the nerve and audacity to say, Herschel Walker is what Republicans want from their Negroes. They call it things like buck dancing, bowing down to massa. And Herschel Walker is just another black man. And I hate saying the term black man. He's just a man that wants truth and justice for the American people, all hardworking people. He wants the integrity. He wants the hard work. He wants to honor the family. But anytime you do that, those on the left, the Joy Reids, the Whoopi Goldbergs, and everyone else would say, oh, they're just bowing down to the white people. They're bowing down to massa. Nothing could be further from the truth. They don't really want diversity. They want diversity of appearance. But as soon as you start thinking differently, especially as a black individual, if you don't think the same way they're thinking, that's when the name comes out.
They want a segregation of thought, too. They think that this race should think this way, and this race should think this way, which is so demeaning because if you look at white people, you know that you've got the white liberals and you know you have all of these different things. Nobody expects white people to think one way.
Right.
Yet these white people expect black people to think this way. And the sad part is the black leaders are going along with it.
Well, what's the famous saying? Follow the money.
Yeah.
Your Ibram X. Kendis, your people like that, your, I keep forgetting their name, Patrice Cullors. There's a lot of money to be made in portraying this ideology. There's a lot of mansions that are being built, a lot of luxury cars that are being purchased by the Ibram X. Kendis and the Patrice Cullors and people of that nature because they're just selling us a lie they want us to believe in. And we would be really remiss if we didn't talk about the title of this, Uncle Tom. For those of you who know who Uncle Tom's Cabin, if you haven't read the book, it's an incredible book. Make sure you grab it now before it's banned from all schools, which it may be now. But if you know who Uncle Tom is...
Uncle Tom. Oh, is that my Uncle Tom? Yeah.
To call somebody an Uncle Tom is completely idiotic. Because if you've read Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin, you'll see that Uncle Tom was actually a very good person. He did a lot of good things. He sacrificed on behalf of other slaves who were on the plantation.
In many ways, there's a lot of dramatic irony at play with being called an Uncle Tom.
When you use the term Uncle Tom to demean someone, being ignorant, not knowing the history of what Uncle Tom means, you're literally just signifying the fact that you yourself are ignorant.
After educating myself on the story of Uncle Tom and learning about Josiah Henson, he was a completely good person, completely opposite of what the black community thinks Uncle Tom is.
Uncle Tom was the hero. He was the hero.
He was self-sacrificing. And ultimately, he paid the ultimate sacrifice for not ratting out the other slaves that had escaped.
Uncle Tom was the hero of Harriet Beecher Stowe's novel, Uncle Tom's Cabin, and nobody knows that, so they call us Uncle Toms to hurt us. And every time I get called, I just go, oof, you should read the book.
when people call me that, and I get called that in the comments section along with bootlicker and wannabe white and coon. I don't know who I am and coon and things like that. You guys don't know this. When, as you guys know, the name of our show is Cedric and Brian. A long time ago, like a little over a year ago.
On TikTok, I think.
Yeah, on TikTok, we put out a challenge, a fun challenge to people to change the name of our show from Cedric and Brian. And one gentleman said, you should change it from Cedric and Brian to Cracker and the Coon. Cracker, the Coon. But anyway, Uncle Tom, he was a gentleman that was very helpful in helping the Negroes escape. And so when people call me an Uncle Tom, I want to say thank you, because they don't understand who he was in that book and how great he was in helping the black community. So be careful when you call people that.
Anti-black, anti-hate themselves.
There is no country in this world that a black person would rather be. Unless, of course, they grow up in this country.
You broke the contract with for 400 years. We played
Then
your game.
they're fed a lie that is so deceptive.
Black lives matter. Black lives matter.
The reason that lie exists is power.
There are certain people who are using the Negro in order to establish that power in Washington. And the Negro is just merely a pawn in a game that's bigger than he is.
Yes. This is going to be, I'm looking forward to seeing this movie when it comes out. It's going to be great. I guess the way it opens up with a very successful young black businessman, and he's talking about how he gets called names by everybody on the left. He gets like the names I brought before: Uncle Tom, bootlicker, sellout, a coon, everything that's out there. And then it quickly transitions to another gentleman who was celebrating in 2008. Why was he celebrating in 2008? For those of you who know your history, that's when we elected the country's first black president, and everybody was supposed to be excited. And if you guys haven't heard my story before, I was out there on election night. I don't know if I was just leaving your house or what the deal was, and I went to a strip mall shopping center in our area, and a car rolled up next to me, the windows rolled down, and a black couple leaned their heads out the window and looked at me and put their arms in there and said, "We did it! We did it!" I knew what they were saying, but I wanted to play along because that's what I do. And I said, "What are you talking about?" They go, "We won. We have a black president in office." And very calmly I said, "I didn't vote for him." Windows rolled up, and you could see the look in their faces like, he's not one of us. But then I'm thinking, why am I the idiot that I'm supposed to vote for an individual simply because his skin color is similar to mine?
I know.
Even though he's light skinned.
Well, he's half white.
Yeah,
he's half white.
Exactly. But they looked at me like they were embarrassed, and they were ashamed of the fact that you had a chance to vote for someone who looks like you and you didn't do it.
What's funny is that those same people probably believe in the narrative that we're systemically racist. And if they voted for him because he's black, could you imagine if people that are white only voted for white? He would have never got elected.
Well, my daughters asked me that.
As you said, black people comprise about 13% of the population, so he would not have been elected. So obviously, white people vote in two directions. A lot of white people obviously voted for Barack Obama, and a lot of white people back then voted for was it McCain back in that first one?
McCain.
So we're not a monolith. So why do they expect black people to be a monolith and only vote one way?
How could you be a black man voting for?
Because I'm not led by the nose. I think for myself.
You think for yourself?
The white man doesn't think for me. The black man doesn't think for me. I don't need Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, and the rest of those clowns.
So Trump ain't a clown?
No, Trump is not a clown.
He's a straight house.
I think it's condescending to assume that because I'm a black man, I'm supposed to vote for a Democrat. Whether it's coming from the media telling me to do it, or from a politician telling me to do it, or even from another black person to tell me to do it. You can't, on one hand, say that you're against slavery, but then on the other hand, tell me how to vote, what to wear, how to speak, you know what I mean, how to live my life, because black people are supposed to do these things. They're supposed to vote this way. They're supposed to talk this way. They're supposed to walk this way. They're supposed to believe a certain thing, because that's slavery. You can't say that you're against slavery, but then put me in a box and tell me that this is how I have to perform.
Why do you only vote by your skin color? And then I guess if you're Hispanic now, since they're breaking off from the Democratic Party, I guess because they're lighter skinned, they can vote either way, but you can't? It's just insulting.
It's a damn shame.
Damn shame.
It's a damn shame. It's a great movie. I'm looking forward to it. We don't censor anything. There's a lot of profanity. There's some choice words in it. And although I'm pushing this movie, you're going to find that 99.9% of the profanity and the foul language and the visceral hate is coming from the liberals to see how they really act. Because if you, again, like Brian was saying, if you don't agree with the way they think, all of a sudden they attack you. And now you're no longer one of them.
Yep.
And you're going to find that a lot of people on the right, especially the black conservatives, you have your Candace Owens, you have your Larry Elders, you have your Ben Carsons.
He was compared to Candace Owens, isn't it?
Yeah, I was compared to Candace Owens. She's way better looking than I am. Well, not much better looking.
But I guess because you're both black and you think the same way, again, it's that monolith. He couldn't be like a white conservative. He had to be like Candace Owens, which is such a racist comment to begin with.
Yeah. And I've addressed a few comments in the comments section. I tease Brian a lot that he's not allowed to answer comments in the comment section because he just comes out and just throws punches and they go away screaming and crying. I try and approach it in ways like, let's educate each other. Let's talk about this. Even though the comments will say, oh, Cedric, you're a coon, or Cedric, you're a sellout. I'm like, okay. And then I'll give facts and figures and statistics and showing that, well, white cops do not kill black people at the alarming rate that you think they do. And here are the stats, and here's the source where you can find that. And other things like that. And I love
you ask them questions. You usually say, can you please tell me where you thought that I was wrong? But they never do. They just throw slurs.
They never do. It's the emotion. And there's a great quote from many years ago, Abraham Lincoln, after the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln, as you guys all know, was an incredible leader. And all the people would come to him after the war was over, and he would try and go to the people that he defeated and said, hey, let's talk about this. Let's break bread together. Let's commune. Let's be one. And the people on the side would be like, when you defeat your enemies, why do you work so hard to get them to be on your side, to like you, and to have unity? Mm-hmm. And Abraham Lincoln said, do I not destroy my enemies when I make them my friends? If I can come at someone and say, I understand what you're saying, but here's what I'm saying and here's why. And if I can turn those enemies, Candace Owens was an enemy at one time. Leo Terrell was a huge enemy.
Before he was 2.0.
At one time. And then they took the time to step back and look and see what was going on and say, wait a minute, we've been bamboozled. We've been duped into thinking that the Democratic Party was all about black people when nothing could be further from the truth.
Another person, Gothics. She was a big-time leftist.
Yes.
She did a 180.
And I say that a lot. You see a lot of people, and if I'm wrong, please tell me I'm wrong. Again, I don't mind being told I'm wrong. I see a lot of people who are on the left who come over to the right. I have yet to see anybody from the right go to the left.
Oh, they do if they want a job at MSNBC or CNN.
Or Disneyland.
You see those Republicans who now are spokespeople or on The View. What's that, Navarro girl? She's supposed to be the conservative on the panel?
Yeah, the rhinos.
Really?
The rhinos.
Anyway,
looking forward to this movie. And I don't know the reasons behind it, but I guess Larry Elder, it's not streaming on a lot of platforms. I don't know if that's a money thing or what it is.
No, I mean, a lot of platforms won't carry it because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Yeah. But if you guys can find a way to view this, you will definitely be doing yourself a favor. A lot of people like to get their information from social media, from books, from movies. And so if you're in a battle with someone who's like, blacks shouldn't think conservative, they shouldn't be Republicans. So you know what? I saw this incredible movie. It's from Larry Elder called Uncle Tom. Why don't you watch the movie? Get back to me later. We'll sit down. We'll talk about it and let me know what you think. I think that'd be the best way to do it. And like Abraham Lincoln said, it's an incredible way to have someone who was once an enemy and turn them into a friend. And worst case scenario, at least get them thinking a little bit more about what they said.
All right, I got a comment because we haven't read comments in a while. And Cedric will like this one because I don't think he's seen it yet. So this is from Rob Perry. And Rob, we know you make lots of comments on here. So this one says, hey, Cedric, love your videos. That other guy is okay, too. I figured you'd like that.
Rob's right. I put so much time and energy and effort into making these videos, and it's hard to be very Michael Jordan-esque and then you have to carry and drag others along with you. Nothing can be further from the truth. Brian did a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that you guys don't see. And I think Rob was joking. I'm sure he was joking, right?
I just figured I'd throw that bone because he's the one who gets all the hate on the Joyner Lucas. So.
Oh my goodness, that's good stuff.
Thanks, Rob. I feel the love.
Good stuff. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. I can't promote this movie enough. Make sure you go see it. Turn off Netflix. Check this out. I don't know what platform it's going to be on though. We'll have to get back later and check that out.
Google it. You know, I'm sure you'll find it out there. Maybe released on YouTube. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We're gonna be putting together a lot of videos in the next couple of days because someone's skipping out. No, you're not. You're not going to Tennessee.
No, I'm going to
a cruise.
Puerto Vallarta.
Yes.
No, not a cruise. We're just going out to hang out for a weekend. Nuevo Vallarta, which is just north of Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah. I wasn't invited.
He was invited.
I wasn't invited until like maybe a week ago.
He's still butthurt.
Yeah, we'll hear about that. It's all right. You know, it is what it is. Anyway, make sure you guys like, subscribe, ring that bell, and continue sharing our channel with everyone you know. Share this movie with everyone you know, and continue being good to each other. Until next time, I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian. See you later.